Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me again, Insane Gorilla. This is going to be well, a new series for Bell. Now, I've just let you know, you'll most probably realise who I'm going to be placing him as from the images you'll see soon. But let's just get something clear. It will be from the MK universe, which you don't know what MK stands for. It stands for Mortal Kombat. This is going to be an experiment by me because I have never played Mortal Kombat. Most probably never will play Mortal Kombat, but I kind of know a few things about it. Not many. My information on this is very, very freaking limited. So please forgive me if I get anything wrong. Just correct me in the comments below, please. So where we start this off is in a village. Where this village used to be a peaceful area. That's until the Lin Kuei attacked. After finding some, well, ninjas in black and yellow, aka the Shirai Ryu. I think that's how you spell them. After 10 whole hours of battling the Shirai Ryu, the whole village was burning due to the fires that the Shirai Ryu were putting out to combat the Lin Kuei. Now, this is a few, well, 10 months away from Arario, but it's still quite very far away, so nobody would really notice it. And the Lin Kuei are not exactly ninjas, but the Shiai Ryu are. Sorry if I'm screwing up the names. Do apologise. But these two clans were going at it. The Shiai Ryu's village is what the Lin Kuei attacked. And you'll see the Shiai Ryu's village in the next image after this one. After the background, anyway. With both clans having their strongest warriors at the forefront. A Cryomancer, Sub-Zero, and a Pyromancer, Scorpion. Those are the only names that hold a significant amount of weight in both clans, apart from their Grand Masters as well. Sorry guys if I'm yawning. As these two warriors continue their fight, the fight goes like it would do in Mortal Kombat, with brutal finishes and, well, brutal counters. Basically everything brutal in Mortal Kombat. As well, as you most right now tell in the image there behind, behind Scorpion and Sub-Zero, that was the Shiai Ryu village that's now on fire. That's how much damage they did to that village. And, well, one of the conversations these two were having was, you Lin Kuei, always thumbing your noses in other people's business. As Lin Kuei, well, as Sub-Zero just retorts back to Scorpion, you Shiai Ryu, assassinate everybody in your way. Do you have no code of honor? With Scorpion then shouting at him saying, we do not attack women, children, anything like that. If a woman's pregnant, we do not attack them. If they're children, we do not kill them. We still have our honors. You Lin Kuei are just scared that we will rival you for popularity. Oh, Wait, we already have surpassed you in the popularity contest. But you still believe you are the superior ninjas. Why don't you go and take it up with the council? They're the ones that are holding you back. Holding you as their little lapdogs. As they continue fighting. As well. Two children are, well, being sort of hidden by a woman. And she just says, both of you, please, stay here. Do not ever come out. Not until it is safe. As well, she would run as two Linkway soldiers would follow her, and well, let's just say 2 seconds later you hear nothing but screaming. As eventually a few more hours pass, as a red ninja turns up, as he just shouts, "What is the meaning of this?" As well, another one turns up, a woman with green armor, and with another guy who is a pitch black. As you don't know, he's Noob. Noob, the shadow guy from the Brotherhood of the Shadows, I think? The Shadow Brotherhood, I think? But I've just got him as the Shadow Clan. As well. The other two would speak up, saying, "We agree. What the hell's going on?" And the one in green is Jade from the Neutral Clan. She's also the leader of that clan. As they would round up all the Shirai Ryu and the Link Wei. Well, I should really say the Shirai Ryu who survived, which was only ouch. Yeah, it's only 3 people who have survived: the 2 children and Hanzo Hasashi. The Link Wei, on the other hand, everybody's still there apart from 20 odd. They attacked the Shirai Ryu village with 50. So yeah, they're now down to 30. So yeah, the Shirai Ryu have been completely wiped out, apart from those 3, due to the 3 other clans butting in, as these 3 actually form a council, and the Shirai Ryu were actually part of that council, along with the Link Wei as well. Jade from the Neutral clan says just simply reprimands Sub-Zero for attacking the Link Wei. As she basically just then tells them all the Link Wei are no longer a part of the council. They will be be put directly under our scrupulous supervision. As soon as they do anything foolish, all our clans will either apprehend or eliminate the Link Wei. And the Shirai Ryu have also lost their position due to them having, well, the attitude for getting revenge. With Scorpion saying, "This is madness. You can't just do this. Have we ever shown any hostilities towards you 3? We never even showed hostilities towards the Link Wei. To me, it was all just a political rivalry. I never thought it would come to this." With Hunter, well, the guy who goes by the name of the Hunter, or Li Chi, don't know if that's an actual character in Mortal Kombat or not. But hey, we'll just say our verdicts are clear, Scorpion. We'll discuss this later as well. We skip a few months as everything's sort of settled down with Jade talking to the leader of the Shadow Clan and Li Chi of the Hunter Clan, which are sort of their police force. They'll keep all other clans in check, just in case they get a bit too rowdy. As Jade would just simply say, around the table, Li Chi, I thought you said the Shirai and the Lin Kuei had a good relationship. So why the hells would we find them fighting each other? With Li Chi just responding saying, Jade of the neutral clan. Don't know. Apparently even couldn't figure that out, and I'm one of the head people who, I don't know, sorts out these kind of problems. If it's just a minor problem, but if it's a war, it's up to the council themselves to sort out. What do you think, Shadow Clan leader? As the Shadow Clan leader will just speak up, saying, it's hard to know with Sub-Zero, with the Lin Kuei and the Shirai. It's best if they both leave this council entirely. The Shirai must get their numbers back up again. Otherwise their clan will be completely averted and forgotten. And what of the Lin Kuei? Should we drop their numbers to 3 as well? Jade just saying no. It'll be genocide on a massive scale. As the Shadow Clan leader would say, I prefer that to having the Shirai go on a killing spree, saying that the council has betrayed their clan by not taking any action. I suggest we take actions. With them actually debating it, as we sort of time skip a few years, as well, the council is in session again as they call in Sub-Zero from the Lin Kuei. As he greets them in a very hostile tone, as he just simply just says, "What do you want?" As the Chi and Jade, along with the Shadow Clan leader, all three of them just say, "Watch it, Lin Kuei. Do you recognize this symbol?" As Sub-Zero will just say, "How could I not? It's the Shirai Ryu symbol. It's also the symbol of the scorpion." As they would just say, "That's correct. We've heard from this scorpion, and we have decided. Due to his request, he has requested that he fully leaves the council. As he rebuilds his clan, he will no longer be associated with us. And he says to do the same to you. And we have obliged. You are no longer part of the ninja way. You have all lost it. From now on, whenever you fight, whatever goes around comes around. Leave one alive, they will regroup and make their numbers back again, no matter how long it takes. But we will tell you this. In our eyes, Lin Kuei are nothing but hypocrites. So, if any of our people see Lin Kuei attacking the Shirai, the Shirai will get the support. You will not. with Sub-Zero slamming his hand on the ground, saying, "This is madness. The Shia Ryu are nothing but warmongers. They take pleasure in their assassinations. They even aided in a war against the rival kingdom somewhere down the line, and you say they are innocent?" As well, all three clan members stand up as they say, well, as Li Chi says, "Sub-Zero, I would watch it if I was you. You know nothing of the Lin Kuei, or of the Lin Kuei's traditions, do you? But you also have no idea about the Xia Ryu traditions. The Xia Ryu traditions are 10 times more brutal than Lin Kuei. So, you two are no longer part of this council, and you're no longer a part of our, well, identity. So leave." As he gets up and leaves, as well, he has a flashback to the battle between him and Scorpion. As Scorpion will just say, "Why? Why do this? We may have been political rivals in the assassination business and in the council, but it doesn't mean we should attack each other openly." As Sub-Zero will just say, "Shut it, Scorpion. You know nothing of true power. Unlike you, we Shiar Ryu hold codes and honors. You do not." As Scorpion would break off an arm contest, as he would just open his arms out and say, "Look at this mess. Hmm? My village. My village that I swore to protect. I did everything the council wanted me to do. Do my assassination business with my Shia Ryu brothers and sisters. And yet, here you are, dictating to us that we should not be assassins, yet we should be cannon fodder. Have you, Lin Kuei, lost your mind? Just look at this carnage. My people, my village, my family. All of it wiped out due to you all thinking you are superior. The council was right to never let Lin Kuei in to the council itself. I think you got that the wrong way around, Scorpion. The Shia Ryu should never have been let into the council. Tell me, Sub-Zero, what would a mother say to her children when she sees that the Shia Ryu were about to kill her husband? What would she say? Don't worry, children. The Shia Ryu are murderers only of people that deserve it. Or would they say, run with their children, saying, the murderers are here. They'll slaughter the entire village if they have to. Sub-Zero just remarking, saying, enough. As his mind would be snapped back into a council room yet again, with Jade and the shadow leader of the Shadow Clan shouting at him, saying, "Get out of the council room." You were staring in the thin air, looking like you were about to kill someone. So, Sub-Zero, are you going to get out of here or not? Or do we have to get the guards in here? Lychee! As well, Lychee's guards would all rush in, surrounding Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero would just say, I am leaving. Don't have to worry about me finding my way out. But mark my words. When the Shia Ryu come to kill you all, don't come running for my people for help. Because we will just laugh at you and saying you should have just let us finish that clan to begin with. Good day. And good riddance. As he would walk out with Jade and Shadow Clan leader sighing, saying that clan is even more out of control than the Shia Ryu. The Shia Ryu have codes and honors. The Lin Kuei, they don't seem to have that problem. This is madness. What do you think, Shadow Clan leader? Permission to speak freely. We're counselors, so you can speak. By the way, my name is Noob. A noob. A noob. Okay, fine. What do you suggest? What do you think about it? The Shia Ryu have, as you say, honors. He does not. I think it'd be wise that we cut his family to pieces. Put them down to 3 and all. Drastic, I know, but I prefer to have that happen than the opposite way round of the Shia Ryu getting all eliminated. If you believe that is best, but we need a full council decision on this. Li Chi, what do you think? As Li Chi walks back in, saying, I agree, but only as a last resort. We can't just go around killing Lin Kuei willy-nilly. As well, we are time skipping again. Sorry for all the time skips. As we skip another 3 years. Not 3 years. 4, no, 10 years into the future. With a teenager. Not with a teenager. Yeah, teenager. A mid-teenager. Mid to adult teenager. As, well, a boy with flames on his hand would walk into a village. As everybody would sort of stare at him as they would get on with what they were doing. As he would continue moving along, somebody would stop him saying, What are you doing here? You shouldn't be here at all, boy. As he would just barge past him, saying, Don't care what you think. I was doing a job, plus my home is here. So leave us be. Or shall I say, leave me be. As this man would leave him alone, but a woman would walk up to him, and she would throw a fireball at him, as he would, well, reach out his hand and swat it aside. As he would get into a combat stance, as she would do the same. As he would just say, Seriously? You have to do this now. Every time I come back from a mission. As well, she would sort of smirk, saying, Of course, I've got to keep you on your toes somehow. As they would begin fighting, drawing a small crowd. As she would just throw fireballs and then make a sword out of fire, and she would run at him. This boy also doing the same. As he would also run at her, they would clash in the middle, then back off from each other. As they would, well, swing their swords quite a few times, clashing, as eventually she would make a chain, well, chain with a kunai, I think, at the end of it, and she would just shout, "Get over here!" I can't do a high pitched voice because I'm afraid I might disturb the neighbours. As well, the chain would actually hit the guy in the arm, as she would obviously shout, "Get over here!" the signature move of Scorpion. As she would basically put her hands to the floor, and she would, well, basically underkick him in the face. And if you don't know what underkick is, basically getting down to the ground by using your hands, using your hands to lift up your whole entire body as you use your feet to kick somebody in the lower jaw. As well, he would be sent flying into a wall as somebody would just shout, "What the fuck's going on out there?" Pardon the language. As he would walk out saying, "For God's sake, it's these two again. You brats better go on. Don't know why we allow you types to be here." As they would, well, everybody would disperse. As so would, well, these two. This girl would walk up to the boy she just kicked in the jaw, and she would help him up onto his feet. With her just sort of stroking the side of his cheek, saying, "Sorry about that. Wasn't really aiming for your lower jaw, I was aiming for your chest." As he would just socket punch her in the mouth, saying, kind of with a bit of a slur, saying, "That's what you get and all." As she would just say, "Yeah, I deserved that one. I was aiming for your chest, not your bloody jawline." As they would move off, with her sort of stroking her own face, well, where she got punched by, as he would just say, "So what else is new in this village, apart from them hating me?" As well, this girl would just say, "You're not the only one they hate. Some of the younger generation, girl-wise, hate me because all the boys are going for me. How many boys have you had ask you out to go for a date this time?" About all of them. Declined all of them anyway. They ain't shirai you like me and you. As they would enter a home, as he would just say, "Right, I'm going to go and get some sleep. You just don't try and sneak attack me again, like the last 58 times you tried. Please, because that really, really bloody hurts. Every time you come up and sneak behind me and try to kill me." Wish Scorpion was here. He would sort us both. He would sort you out right good. And she would just say, "You do know Scorpion is technically my dad, so he can't do much to me. To you, he can do a lot of things, because you know what he's like when it comes to me." As he would just say, "Yeah, I know. Daddy's little girl." And she would just smirk, saying, "You know it." As she would turn to her left, where he is, as she would just say, "Damn, Belle, you got a few good scars there now. And plus, we're out the way, so nobody will see your face." As Belle would just say, "Yeah, I know, whatever." As he would go into his room, as well, a few hours would pass, and she would, well, sneak in to his room. As well, she would get on top of a beam, and she would watch him sort of not really sleep, just sort of be there in sort of like a praying motion. As she would then drop down on top of him, or try to, as he would just hear her breathing, as she sort of like exhales, as he sort of swats her to the side, as she, well, runs at him and jumps on him, sort of grabbing hold of him, then with her lower legs, then grabbing him with her arms, then letting the lower half of him go as she would spin on his shoulders with her arms, then to swing down onto his back, wrapping her legs around him again as she would hold him in a choking motion. As she would, well, kind of be grinning, saying, "I finally get you this time." And by the way, nobody could hear them having this fight because they're literally on the outskirts of the village that they're at. You have to walk through the village to actually get to where they are. As well, by the way, they're both technically 18. As well, Belle would run, literally sprint to the wall as he would slam her into it with him as well, with her sort of grunting as she would say, "That's a dirty little trick, Belle." As he would then immediately do a front flip, which knocks her off, with him landing on top of her, with a kunai in his hand as it goes right down to her chest, about to stab her in the heart. As he just says, "Seriously, again, you did this again. How many times have we gone through this? Yes, you've won several of our little fights, but half the time I win them because I go out on missions. You could start going on missions yourself, you know." And she would just sort of, as he would just stare at her, and she would stare at him, smack in the eye, saying, "I could go on missions, but honestly, no mission's really gonna make any difference to us, is it? Nobody would ever hire 2 Lin Kuei warriors. And, by the way, I know you love being this close to me." As she sort of smack the kunai out of his hand, as she would place it on top, well, her left side, basically. As she would just say, "Feel my heart?" As she would sort of move his fingers on her own, as she would pull back, saying, "Seriously? You do this every time I end up on top of you?" And she just giggles, saying, "Yes, you're adorable when you go bright red in the face." As well, a few hours later, they get out of Belle's room after having a few arguments. As she would just, as Belle would just say, "Rachel," and she would just look over to him, saying, "Yeah." As Belle would just say, "Do you remember when we were kids?" As Rachel just sighs, saying, "Yeah, and I'd rather not remember it." So 4 years, 4 good years. Meeting you, making a few friends in schools, meeting you, even though you were an orphanage, even though you're an orphan. Well, technically, we both are orphans. Considering my dad left us and coincidentally died, as well. Belle would just say, yeah, it's kind of a bad thing though to remember. I still remember the fire when I first set my own hand on fire. I was so proud, so happy. Then your father took me in, saying, I'll take you as my student. You can learn alongside another. I didn't realise that other was you at the time. As Rachel would just say, yeah. By the way, her name is Rachel Hasashi, so yeah. As well. She would then lean up against Belle as they would just continue talking. As, well, a few people from the local village start walking up to them as they just say, why don't you two freaks get out of our village? We don't need you here. You'll just end up bringing more misery to us. As well, one of them would throw horse dung at them. As Rachel would get mad, along with Belle, as they would both set their hands on fire, saying, do you really want to start this problem right now? We could literally throw these fireballs at you and burn you alive. As one of them say, yeah, you don't have the balls, as well, they both throw a fireball at the guy, and he gets roasted. As they come out of their little flashback. Yes, that was just a flashback. And those pictures, though these three pictures are going to stay up for a little while longer, even though this flashback has ended. As well, they both, as I said, go out and stand on the balcony. And because they're 18, their powers have gotten a lot stronger. And nobody really goes and sees them anymore to cause them trouble. As Rachel would just sort of put her head on Belle's shoulder, as Belle would just simply look at her saying, what? And she would just say, nothing. Just needed a headrest. As Belle would just sigh, saying, seriously? If your father walked up right now, what would he say? As, well, Rachel would just look at him saying, I don't know. You're the one who's most probably going to die, not me. You know what my father's like for protecting his little girl. Although I wish I knew where he was so I could kick his ass. As, well, Belle just chuckles, saying, yeah, you couldn't really hurt him even if you tried. With her sort of saying, and what the hell is that meant to mean? As Belle just snorts, saying, forget it. Just forget it. Forget I said anything. As she'd say, thought you'd say that. As she would just walk away. Walk back inside. As, well, a few hours later, Belle would walk in himself to find there were clothes all over the floor. As he would just sigh, saying, again. What is her mood today? Hang on a minute. I may know which mood she's in. She's in one of her playful moods, and I think I know why she's in one of those playful moods again. As he would pick up her clothing, as he would walk into their little washing area, as he would just put her clothes on a neat little pile, as he would, well, walk out and go to his own room. As he would walk in, he would find Rachel sleeping in his own bed. As he would just let out a very loud sigh, saying, "Oh, really? First you want to sleep in your own bed, then when I'm spending too long outside, you sleep in mine. Seriously? Isn't your bedroom big enough?" As you just say, "Mine's got a spider in it, yours don't." As he would just say, "I think a spider's going to be more afraid of you than you are of it. And by the way, I am petrified of spiders in real life. Small ones I can deal with, it's the big ones I can't deal with." As well, she would say, "Oh, it's a big one. It's like a tarantula." As Belle would just sigh, saying, "Ugh," in a very sarcastic tone, saying, "Oh, Missy, oh, ma'am, do you want me to go and burn that little spider out of your room?" And she would sort of look at him, saying, "Do you want me to kick you in the backside?" As he would say, "You're welcome to try. I won our last fight." As she would say, "Fine then." As she would literally get up, as Belle quickly turns around and says, "How about you put some clothing on?" And she would look down and just say, and she would walk up to him, then whisper into his ear, saying, "Are you always this embarrassed around me?" As she would literally bring herself in very close to him, basically her chest touching his back, as he would sort of shiver, saying, "Ugh, no offense, put some clothes on." As much as you love being this playful girl who loves teasing people, teasing me isn't really the best move, because you know I find it creepy when you do it. As you just start laughing, saying, "I know, that's why I'm doing it to you, because I know it makes you feel very awkward and insecure." Jeez, Belle, you gotta realise when a woman's having a joke with you. Well, Belle would just say, "I don't mind having a joke. Just don't constantly rub your breasts on my back, because if your father walked in, he'll think we'll be up to something, and I do not want to piss off your father." There's a flashback of the last ass kicking Belle received goes through his mind, and it also goes through Rachel's mind as well, as they both shiver at the same time, saying, "I'm going to go back in your bed and go to sleep. Have fun with the spider." As Belle would just grab her by the hand and just drag her off with him, saying, "No, you're going into your room with the spider. I'll burn it away, and then you can go and sleep. Is that any good to you, madam?" And she'll just say, "Fine. By the way, where are my clothes?" As Belle would just say, "I just put them in the washing area, so you can go and wash them later." And she would just say, "Fine." As Belle would literally walk into her room, and all you'd say here is, "Ah, you little bastard." As well, 2 minutes later, the door would open as Belle would jump out as a spider comes running out as well on fire, with Rachel screaming and running it back into Belle's room. As this spider would run all over the house while on fire, as it eventually, well, Belle eventually opens the front door as it goes running out and then dies. As Belle would walk back into the house after closing the door, he would go all around Rachel's room just making sure there are no other spiders, as he would then open his door to his bedroom saying, "Right, Missy, go to your room. The spider's now gone out the front door and has died." In a very big flame, in a very big fireball. So, get. As she, well, as he would turn around, as she would say, "Thank you, Belle." As she would leave, and he would turn the opposite way again, because he ain't no perv. As he would go into his own bed and lie down and go to sleep. And beware, he doesn't take his clothes off. He actually leaves his clothes on. He'll just take them off, give them a quick wash, wear them again as he'll go out for a mission, as they just dry on him. Gross, I know, but in this is what he just does. Well, until he reaches Aurario. But that'll be in a few more episodes, because I'm planning on doing a few more of these, if you guys like them. Well, if you guys actually like this video. As well, Belle just sleeps for a bit, for like a good few hours. As eventually, after 12 hours, he wakes up again. And gotta go just in a minute, just for a minute, gotta go and feed the dog. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Just had to go and feed the dog, as I said. So, where we last left off was that Belle just woke up from having a little power nap. As well, he, well, doesn't really get up, he just yawns. As he would look over to his left side to see that the door was cracked open. Like, there's a sliver so you can see. As he tries to move his right arm, only to hear a moan saying no. As he would look to his right, as Rachel would have his arm in between her chest, well, in between her chest cavity area, in between her breasts, basically, as she would hold tighter onto his arm, as he would sigh, whispering to himself, saying, "Even when I try to sleep, she does nothing but sneak into my room. What is it with me and my bed? Or is it just my bed that she's interested in all the time?" And she just moans again, saying, "No." As Belle just cocks his head to the side again, as he would just say, "Right, if she's reading my mind, then God help me." As he would then just say, is it because it's more comfortable if she's near another person? She would just say yes. As Belle would then say, okay, I'm going to have to say this out loud. As he literally clear his throat as quietly, as loudly as he could, as, well, Rachel still didn't get up. As then he shouts, saying, Rachel Hasashi, get off! As she cocks open one of her eyes, well, her eye, as she just says, no, going back to sleep. It's too early in the morning. As Bill then realizes what the time is after forcing his hand out from between her breasts as he moves towards the window. As he, because they actually do have curtains, he opens them to realize that it's still fairly dark outside. So he closes them. He says, okay then, better go back to sleep then. As he does, he notices that Rachel's taken up the entire bed. As she sort of giggles, saying, you're going to have to try and force me off your bed this time. As she sort of does a playful motion with her finger, as Belle just sighs, saying, you know what? Never mind, I'm going to the living room and sleeping on the sofa. And she'll just say, oh, spoil sport. As he would just give her a middle finger, saying, you can keep my bed then. As he would just go and sleep in the living room for another good 5 hours. As those 5 hours end, he gets up, opens up the curtains, see that it's bright outside, then goes to the kitchen and starts making himself something to eat. Basically making himself some scrambled egg, basically some scrambled egg and bread, basically. As he would cook the egg, I think it's the boiled hard egg and the soldiers. If you cut the bread into like lengths as you just dunk it in the yolk, I think it's egg and soldiers. I think I'm not 100% sure. Please correct me if I am wrong. As well, a few minutes later, Rachel gets up, yawns, and because Belle has his back turned to her, she just yawns, saying "Morning, Belle." As he would just say "Morning, sleepyhead," or "bed stealer," because you literally virtually just stole my bed. Yes, she would just say, "Yeah, whatever. You said my clothes are in the washing room, right?" As he just nodded his head, saying, "Yes. I haven't washed them because it's your job to wash your clothes, not mine." As she would just say, "Spoil sport yet again, but oh well. Fair's fair." As she would go to the washing room, and she would say, "Don't enter because I'm going to have a bath. I'm taking my clothes with me to have a bath, so don't enter." Miss Bell would say, "I don't need to enter. I've had a bath already, so I'm about to go off and dry off." and go for a mission because I got given one by my last employer. I have to go and track some girl down. Apparently ugh, apparently she just has a real bad case of the bad luck. Apparently she was kidnapped last week, and the kidnappers have asked for a king's ransom for her. Don't know why, but the pay is good, so I'll be going to get the girl and get her back to her hometown. So if you ever feel like you want to follow and actually get some experience under your belt, feel free to. As she would just say, nah, I'm good. I'll see if I'll be doing some training here. As Belle would just sigh, saying, really? Training here? More like training on how to be very seductive. You're trying to always seduce me. As she would just say, hey, it kind of works. You don't realise what's happening until I do something. As Belle just sighs, saying, yeah, because we're always keeping our eyes locked. We always seem to be keeping out for eye movement, not body movement, which I really do need to work on. So hey, this should be a good opportunity for me. As Rachel would just say, oh, to watch body movement? You can just watch me all the time. As Belle would just shout, no, not in that way. In the combat way. As she would just chuckle, saying, Belle, you need to work on jokes. I know that's not what you meant. You just watch my body movement whenever we do some fight training. It's just some more normal sparring practice. Just watch body movement from me. That way you don't have to constantly go out there and earn money. As Belle would turn around saying, you do realise we need to pay the rent, right? And she'd put a finger up to her lips, saying, oh, yeah, we do. She would just then wiggle herself at Belle, as he would realise that she's doing that to him again, as he would just turn around, saying, shut up and stop doing that. Get yourself in the bath and get yourself dressed. Women. And she would just slap him around the back of the head, saying, you want to say that again? As Belle just shout, go and get in the bloody bath, would you? You stink. Yes, she would slap him again, saying, fine, grumpy pants. But don't be too annoyed, will you? You'll never get a girlfriend with that attitude. Belle would literally just shrug, saying, yeah, whatever. As she would basically pull down her eyelid and stick out a tongue, making a mere noise. As Belle would throw kunai at the wooden doorframe as it would stick. And by the way, he wasn't looking. So it's impressive enough when you see professionals in real life do it. So this ain't as professional. This ain't as, oh wow, so amazing. Some people can actually do that in real life without looking, with an actual knife, not a kunai. So not really that special. Well, back to the story. As Rachel would just say, fine, I'm on my way. I'll go and get in the bath so I don't smell. As Belle would just say, right, you cook yourself some breakfast. I've already had mine. As he would just say, see you in a few days. As she then shouts, wait, how long is it going to take for you to come back? As Belle would slightly twist his head, saying, dunno, anything around about a week or even a month. I have to go and meet the employer face to face to actually see where she's located. So try not to get all the boys over here trying to have a piece of you. Because goddamn, I'd want to see the carnage that happens afterwards. As she would just say, all the boys can try. They are not even my type, but I'll just humour them for a while. Now, don't take too long without me. As Bill would just sigh, saying, enough with the sexual comment. Or comments, would you? As it just leave, and she would just smirk, saying, sexual comments. You're the one to talk. As, well, Belle spends roughly around about a month or two actually finding the abductive, well, the girl who was kidnapped. As he would find this girl and actually take her back to the village, all stealthily like, not even killing any of the bandits that had, well, kidnappers that took her. All, all rights, well, all the things inquired, all such things required, they didn't even know she was gone. They thought that she just fell asleep until one of the guys walked in, as he actually does shout to his mates, saying that you do know that our target is actually gone, or our hostage is gone. Like, she's gone. She ain't even in this room anymore. It's like a ghost has just snatched her up into bloody thin air and done like a Harry Houdini. If you don't know who Harry Houdini is, he's a wizard. Well, not a wizard, he's a magician. What was that? Yeah. I may be getting confused on that one, but hey. After another month of walking back to the village, he sees that the village is, well, kind of on fire. As he runs in to see what's happening, he asks some random woman who was just running away from the fire. He asked what was happening, and she says, why should I tell you, you freak? You and your you foggy-eyed freak. I couldn't really think of anything else. Sorry, guys. As he would just grab her again, saying, what happened? Why is there fire all over this place? And she says, you should know, you're the one who caused it. As Belle just says, how could I cause it? I was on a mission. And the other girl, and that girl I'm always with, wouldn't have started it because she's always at the house. Well, at our house. So she couldn't have started it. As this lady would just say, I don't care. You guys are based around fire, so you started it. Freak. Now let go of me. As he would just let go, say, fine, off you go then. Looks like I have to find out this problem on my own. As he actually walks into the fire, as he would, well, just wander around, grabbing buckets of water because they're near a ocean, and well, chucking it all over the fire. But due to the raging heat, the water was barely doing anything. So he just had to let it burn itself out, which after 2 hours it eventually did burn itself out. With Rachel actually coming down from the house, and she said, "Yeah, I noticed this fire for some time, but I didn't really want to come down here and get called a freak and get blamed for the fire. Let me guess, that's what you did? Got called a freak, and the one who got told you started the fire?" Isabel would just nod, saying, "Yeah, I got the full bore. So, do you know what happened?" With her shaking her head, saying, "Hell if I know. Hell if I know. I was just training for a bit, going over some old scrolls my dad left me." Isabel would just cock his head to one side, saying, "You actually read?" And she would just say, "The pictures, dumbass. They don't particularly have any words on them, do they?" With Belle actually just saying they actually do have words if you actually look and read them. Not all of them are pictures, a lot of them are also words. As Rachel just would talk again, saying, "Oh, I didn't see that part." As Belle would just facepalm, saying, "Of course you wouldn't notice. Because this is you we're talking about. Goddamn amateur." As she would slap him, saying, "Seriously? You're calling me an amateur?" The amateur over here couldn't even take a joke. As Belle would just say, "And there's another amateur who always seems to find herself in my bed, and not in her own. And this has been starting for a couple of weeks already since I've been here. So are you in one of your, you know, your period again?" And she would just slap him, saying, "No, I'm not in one of those. I'm not having a period. Jesus. You'd be able to tell if I'm on one of those, if it's that time for me." As Bill would just say, "Yeah, whatever. I don't get paid enough for this shit. Anyway, let's get going. I don't even know what caused this fire. Most probably somebody had a match and just threw it down. I so happened to be walking back from my mission." As he would hold a satchel full of Valis, as she would be, Rachel would just say, "Wow, that's a lot." As Bill would just say, "Yeah, this village ain't getting a cent out of us, because we're moving village next week, because I've had enough of this water town." As Rachel would just say, "No, I'm making another water town." As Bill just Chico saying, "Why? Why make it another water town?" And she would just say, "Well, I actually like the water. I actually love hearing the sound of waves crashing against rock, against places, like the boats coming in and out, people fishing. Hopefully, the village that we go to next actually has a beach, so I can go and sunbathe and do a bit more training while I sunbathe as well. And plus, it'll be good for you because and then that way you can actually have a day off from missions. Well, hell, we could always just make our own little house. Just gently out the way, where no one can pay attention to us. We would just do our own things, and that is it. Nothing and no one could ever disturb us. Just very peaceful and out the way. Just hope we don't meet any of those Lin Kuei bastards for what they did to our village. As they reach their home, as well, Belle goes and actually has a bath and goes out to train for a bit. While Rachel actually goes out with him, just says, you don't actually have to constantly go into a bath with your clothes on. You can just take them off and put them on later. You skanky person. Or you, very, very, very dirty person. Because I bet you still smell underneath all that clothing. As Belle would just say, does it look like I really care? But Rachel just saying, I do. I do care. Whenever I seem to walk into your room, I can smell you. As Belle would just say, then why didn't you just sleep in your own room? As she'll just say, I like the smell of you anyway, even if you do stink. And she'll just wink at him as he'll just clench his fist. As he'll just say, stop it. I understand what you're trying to do. Just stop. And she'll just sigh, saying, you always have to spoil my fun, don't you? With Belle just saying, yeah, I do have to spoil your fun. Because I'm scared that your father will turn up and kill me if anything happens with us. And she'll just say, my father won't kill you. He'll just give you a very stern warning. And a beating. And possibly removing a few things. He always said if I ever end up with a boy, he's going to do that. If they make me sad. As Belle would just imagine it and say, yeah, not worth thinking about that one. As well, they would begin to train for a very, very good while. As well. Well, Rachel finally collapses from exhaustion, with Belle not too far away. As well, as Rachel just says, Belle, let's call it quits for tonight, okay? I don't know what time it is, but goddamn. If you don't mind me, I'm just... And she just falls asleep. With Belle just sighing, saying, well, at least she's out cold. As Belle would actually pick her up and walk her into her room. As he would put her on her bed, as he would just say, this room is big enough and you got a big enough bed. Why do you have to use mine? As well, he puts it down gently, rolls her over to her side so she can sleep. As he puts her head on a pillow. She grabs hold of him and, well, forces him into her bed as well. Yes, she is still fast asleep. Beware, place she had him on her, well, in her bed, she was, well, let's just say that she was on top. And she did not care, because she was still fast asleep. She didn't even realize she did that to him. As well, Belle then eventually falls asleep after a few minutes of trying to wake her up. As he eventually falls asleep. Beware, they both have their clothing on, so yeah. With Rachel just waking up a few hours later to only realise that Belle's sleeping with her, as she realises that they're in her bedroom and in her bed as well. As she cocks a wicked smile, as she would just say, "Perfect." As she would just, well, take off a few things from herself and from him, basically revealing his whole body entirely. Jesus, I'm gonna have to rate this 18 so people under 18 don't listen to it. As she basically just lies down on top of him, as she just says to herself, "Well, we're both naked now, so he gets the full bearings of me, skin on skin, and I do not care. Both stink as high hell, but hey, I seriously don't care. I have never really seen this amount of muscle on him." As she sort of, well, before she lies down on him again, she just basically stares at his upper body, like all of his muscles and that. She just comments to herself saying he could literally tear someone in half with those muscles. As, well, she would then lie down back on top of him again. Her, well, not really knowing that he could tell that she did something, that she literally took all of his clothing off. As, well, he just said, "Can't be doing with this bloody stuff. Bloody stuff. But hey, better let her just have her moment." As he, well, just continued lying there, asleep, with obviously the curtains all closed. As well, Rachel would just be sleeping and sort of wrapping her arms around his neck. As, well, he woke up, as she did the same, as she would just yawn, as she would look directly at him in the eyes, and she would just giggle, saying, "How you doing?" And she would just fall back to sleep again, with Belle sort of asking her, "Can you let me go, please?" As she would just say, "Nope, I am not letting you go. I am going to continue lying on you like this for the rest of the night. And for most of the morning as well." because I am still that tired. Whenever Belle tries to get up, she'll put her fingers on his hand on his head and push him back down. Or just move herself, move her whole body upwards so she could just have her head resting next to his own. As she would, well, be sort of rubbing her hands up and down his chest, saying, just speaking in her sleep, basically. With, well, Belle sort of just saying, this girl is doing stuff and I do not like it. As he sort of catches her hand, going down to that specific area of a man's body. As she would just giggle, saying, gotcha. And she would move his hand to her area. As he would pull his hand up, with her forcing his hand back down again as they begin a little tug of war. I know this is getting very sexual, but this is just to do with the story, okay? It's meant to basically throw very big signal flares to him that she likes him and would very willingly, if he's up to it, do that with him one day. But be aware, she's asleep, so she does not know that she's doing this. It's a bit like sleepwalking. Well, eventually, after having their little tug of war, she wins. As, well, Belle just has to let her get on with it. As she does. Eventually, when the morning comes around, she wakes up first. As she just then says to Belle, well, good morning. And how was your... As she sort of has two fingers, as she puts them on her, puts two fingers on his chest, as she does sort of a walking motion up his chest, as she just says, how was your night last night? Because I thoroughly enjoyed mine. As Belle would just say, yeah, a bit too much apparently. As she would just comment saying, what do you mean? As Belle would just say, well, first you woke up, thirdly stripped me down to my literal nothingness, along with yourself, then laid on top of me. And as soon as I got up, you wrapped your arms around my neck and brought yourself, well, head up to my head height, and lied down again, saying, no, you're staying here for the rest of the night, and most probably most of the morning. 2, you would start speaking to yourself in your sleep, and then you would immediately start rubbing your hand up and down my own body after letting my neck go, then trying to make your way down to my areas. As soon as I grabbed your hand to move it away, you immediately tried to put it in your area. So we began a little tug of war with that, and then eventually you won after you punched me in the bloody arm. As she would go bright red, saying, oh, the hell's that? And she would just say, oh, sorry. And she would sort of say in a monologue, saying, did I basically make him finger me? If I did, then, oh god. This was not the way I wanted our first session of sleeping together to go. Whoops. Well, if we did do anything else during the nights that was even worse than me just doing that, I think he would have told me because I'd actually wanted to be awake for that. But hey, let's just let's just get going. And that's actually where I'm ending it, guys. So hope you like, comment, and subscribe. See you all in the next one. Peace.